What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be going over my experience with the full body split over the last 30 days, and I'll be seeing if it's something that you personally can benefit from. So I'll be going over the benefits of a full body split, and I'll be playing the devil's advocate because another split might be better, such as the push-pull legs or upper-lower split. So looking back at my beginner days, I ran the typical bro split like many of you guys may have, or you might be still running it, but I do feel like you're gonna be leaving a lot of gains on the table by running the bro split and only hitting a body part one time per week. I also was in that meathead mindset where I felt like destroying a single body part in a single session was the right thing to do, but when you actually look at the amount of volume you can accumulate doing another split, for an example, such as the full body split, you're gonna see you can optimize your results a lot more. Also, rewinding back a little bit ago, I also was in the mindset of training harder every single day, which was extremely idiotic because I was one to suffer from rhabdomyolysis. Now, of course, I could have mitigated that by implementing some recovery tactics, and because I wasn't aware of the effects of my sleep apnea, I do feel like running the full body split was something that I really did benefit from. So let's go over the positives and the cons of each experience I had with the full body split. But before we get started, I just wanted to go over the main mechanisms for muscle hypertrophy. So if we look at the main thing that drives muscle growth, it is mechanical tension. So in simpler terms, it's just pretty much how much work or how much weight you're pushing in total in the gym. So how many sets you're doing, your load you're doing, your reps, and see how far you can really push that. Now there's secondary things that are involved, such as metabolic stress and muscle damage, which aren't as important. And then lastly, you also gotta make sure you're progressive overloading. So you're getting better over time, and mathematically your volume is increasing over time. So by understanding these mechanisms, you can see why the bro split at one time per week isn't something that's optimal, because you can only push the single body part so much in a single session. Now, if we look at the push-pull leg split, we get to split that volume up into 2 sessions and actually push ourselves a little bit more and increase the amount of volume we do over the entire week. Now, if we're looking at muscle hypertrophy, you're not gonna get the most out of a single session, but you're gonna get the most out of week-to-week volume and month-to-month volume. So in my experience, the first thing that I did enjoy a lot was I was hitting my body at a high frequency. Because I was hitting full body every week, you were able to hit your movements and practice them almost every single workout. Now, since lifting is a skill, when you are more efficient with your lifts, you are gonna be able to move more weight. Versus a bro split where you only practice it once a week, it can be harder to really dial in, activate certain muscle groups, practice certain lifts such as a sumo deadlift, bench, and squat, because they are very technical movements. Now, I did enjoy this approach, but looking at the other side of things, I do feel like there is a con involved. Since you are hitting your muscles every single day, it is gonna be a little bit harder on your connective tissue. When looking at the research, you are gonna see that it isn't too strong in this area, but I do feel like I was maybe that 1% that was affected by that. Of course, with a little bit more intelligent programming and me not being such a meathead, by holding back a little bit, I do feel like I could mitigate some of that recovery or some of that pain. But overall, it was a great experience, and it is something I feel like you could work through with the full body split. But if you are someone susceptible to injuries, or you feel like you are at risk with your joints, then maybe it's something you do want to think about before starting it. Now, moving on to the next tip, with my experience, I feel like I was able to avoid a lot of junk volume. And what I mean by this is, imagine going into the gym and you're smashing a massive chest day, you know? The first exercise, you're gonna be hitting bench, you're gonna be feeling really good, but near the end of the workout, you're gonna be doing flies, you're gonna be doing machines, and you're not gonna get as much volume through. So let's say we actually take those 5 exercises with chest and spread them out throughout the week. When you're actually hitting those each day of the week, you're not gonna be tired because you didn't hit 4 extra exercises before that. In my opinion, I feel like when you start to get tired, you're gonna have mental fatigue, physical fatigue, where your mathematical volume isn't gonna be as high. Now, flipping that to a con, because my volume started getting so high, because I was able to perform great every single exercise for every single body part, I felt like it was harder to recover from. And as an athlete, I personally enjoy just going in there, putting my headphones in and just dialing in. Now, this can also be a bad thing because a lot of people will push it too hard at the start of the week and lose out on the ending workouts because you're not going to be as recovered. You might be a little bit sore and you won't be able to push out as much. So you're going to have a lot of control, and this is why I feel like if you're hitting full body 5 to 6 times per week, you need to be intermediate to advanced because you have to know your body enough to regulate your RPE and how much load you should put on the bar, and you'll know your body on how much you can recover from. All right, you guys might troll me for the last one, but I honestly enjoy not just having a massive leg day. You know, I love going in there and squatting hard, but after that, you know, doing RDLs and leg press, leg extension, you know, I just don't enjoy it as much. You know, I like going in there as a physique guy, feeling good, having an upper body pump, feeling aesthetic. And you know, I can hit some of my legs at the start of the workout. So with the full body split, I would have one heavy leg workout and I could focus on getting a full body pump. On top of that, there was a novelty effect of me enjoying something so different because I never performed it before. And I actually do recommend intermediate to advanced people to at least give it a try, because you are going to get a change and you don't know if you do like something or you don't like it if you never actually try it. And I ended up liking it a lot, and I'll continue to periodize this split into my personal regimen as I continue to focus on working towards Worlds next year. Now I'm going to go on the flip side of that. Since I was able to get a nice full body pump in the gym, it was harder to get a very intense pump in certain areas. Now, one of my favorite splits is the push-pull leg split. You could go in there, you know, hit your chest, hit your delts, hit your triceps, and I felt really good. Or the next pull day, I could be hitting my rear delts, my lats, traps, and biceps, and it felt really good because I felt like I could be pushing those muscles very hard. So if you're the type that wants to go in and actually smash a single muscle group pretty hard without going all the way to the bro split, the full body split might not be something for you. And the last thing I want to touch on with this is that my mindset going into the workout, I felt like I had to be mentally there for every single lift with the full body split, because I felt like it was a lot of effort. I had to do a lot of big compound movements to hit my entire body versus, you know, I'm going to do a chest or a pull day, but I did feel like it did step me up as an athlete. So if you're gonna slack off, and let's say at the full body split you're hitting legs and you get the chest, but you're getting lazy throughout the workout, you might be losing out on, let's say, arms and back. So that was my experience with that. And to wrap everything up, Dan, I wanted to say that it's something I enjoyed, but I don't think I could be doing full body all year, because there are aspects of running an upper lower, a push-pull legs, or even a custom physique-based split that I personally enjoy. And for me, the gym is something that can help improve my quality of life while I am making progress in the gym. If you do want to switch it up and you do want to have a new spark into the gym, I feel like the full body split would be something that's very effective. On the other note, the biggest concern with me is recovery, because I am in that 1% who does feel like my connective tissue has a harder time on the big movements. But it is something I will implement and periodize into my current progression. There are parts of the push-pull legs and upper lower split that I do enjoy. I just don't think I could be doing full body all year round moving forward. So take it for what it is. You guys can create your own evaluation. As a beginner, I would say full body 3 times a week, and as an intermediate, 5 days a week, and as an advanced person, if you're going 5 to 6 days a week, you really have to have that discipline to make sure you're not pushing it too hard. But other than that, that was my experience with the full body split. I'm excited to be starting my new one, which I do believe I will be releasing on the channel. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys liked today's video, please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next